Alright, Freddie. Let's choose a film today. What about Saw 4? Friday the 13th Part 3. Scream 4. I like that one too. Killjoy 2. Or Jaws The Revenge. Jaws 4. I don't think so, Freddie. Matter of fact, let's do a haunted top 10. It's been a long while since I've done a haunted top 10. As you know, with horror films, a lot of them have sequels or complete franchises. Now, most of those franchises and sequels are, I would say, are good movies. Now, there are a lot of bad sequels and some movies who just have bad franchises overall. And today I will be looking at the top 10 worst sequels, or you could say disappointing sequels, however you want to say it. Now, this list is going to be a little bit, it may surprise some people, but I have my own views on reasons why certain films just don't work compared to other folks. Anyway, let's get this going. Let's go with number 10. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Now, this is a film that some people honestly do not like. And there's some people who like get the film and they like it quite a bit. This is like half and half, I think. It seems to be half and half with crowds. There's some cool parts to the film, and I do actually like this film, but it's just kind of slow pace, even though it's not that slow of a movie. It's just something about the film. It seems a little slow. Yeah, I just slightly disappointed with this film. Anyway, on to number 9. Halloween 3. Halloween 3 will appear on many people's list of like the worst sequels ever. And the biggest reason is because since there's no Michael Myers in it. That's the biggest reason. I mean, the film itself isn't too bad. There's some cool parts in it, but overall it's a subpar film. And you know, just a big thing. Halloween 3. For someone who doesn't know, who's a brand new horror fan, who may go out and they see the first Halloween, they're like, oh my gosh, great film. They get the second one, and then they get the third one. When they get to that third one, they're like, well, what's going on here, you know? So, for obvious reasons, that's on the list. Number 8 is a film I actually reviewed earlier, I think last year, is Jason Goes to Hell. This was supposed to be the final Jason film. Well, not exactly, because New Line still had that Freddy vs. Jason movie thing going on. Anyway, yeah, this film is just, it just kind of takes Jason out of the Crystal Lake camp scene, and Jason's really not in it too much. It's kind of like the heart of Jason that's transferring from person to person. It's filmed bad. The soundtrack, I mean, the musical score is horrible. It's one of the worst, and kind of a more of a, I guess, a major independent film. It's not like it's a major studio film. It's still kind of a lower budget film. But it's just everything about this film. There's really not too many redeeming factors in this film, besides the fact that Jason Voorhees does show up, and this is like Jason's worst makeup too. yeah, Jason looks bad in the film. Yeah, there's a lot of bad things about this film. But yeah, it's still worth the watch, but unless you're like a really big fan of the Jason franchise, you're not going to like this film. Number 7 is the fourth and so far final Jaws film, Jaws: The Revenge. Now, I actually kind of like the story's concept here, that this shark is tracking down the Brody family, and it kind of like Jaws is really maybe like the only shark movie that kind of has that slasher element to it. It's this, you know, this unstoppable killing force that's just hunting a particular group. So I thought the concept was really cool. I thought this movie would maybe go all out, and because of the third one was kind of weak, but enjoyable. The fourth one, really not that enjoyable. One of my biggest issues with this film, it's a killer shark movie, and this is a kind of a spoiler, so if you've never seen the film, you can skip like 40 seconds. But no one's killed. I'm like, what the flip? Why is like no one killed in a Jaws movie? Anyway, yeah, it's just kind of poorly written, and the characters are kind of lame. Anyway, so that's Jaws: The Revenge. Number 6, Leprechaun 4 in Space. That's almost like enough said. It's just a really bad, cheesy sci-fi film, and it kind of puts me to sleep. The only redeeming quality is the leprechauns in it, and there's like this funny scene where he comes out of this guy's like pants, and it's funny. Yeah, the acting's horrible. The weird like sci-fi stuff. It's just kind of weird. There's this weird princess. But yeah, it's the worst of the Leprechaun series by far. Number 5, The Howling Part 4. I think it's called the Original Nightmare. Anyway, this entire franchise, from Part 2 and on, are just bad movies. I have yet to finish the entire series based on the fact that none of the sequels are good. So this was kind of difficult to pick the worst one. I went with this one because this one's, it seems to be the slowest paced, and there's like very little werewolf action in it. So I had the, I guess you could say, the least enjoyable time of watching it. Most people will probably say that part two's the worst, which you can't argue about that. But I said, well, it kind of has a kind of a, I guess, 80s thing going. I don't know. It's not a good film either. So yeah. Anyway, on to number 4, Cabin Fever 2. Now this was a film I was hyped about seeing because I really liked the first film. I knew that Eli Roth wasn't going to direct this film, and I think he just produced it. I think not even sure if he had anything to do with the film. Anyway, this film's just, you know, it was just really disappointing. That's all I can really say about that. Because the first one's so good, this one just dropped the ball. And there's a third one out now, and I'll eventually see it, but because of that second one, I'm not, you know, anxious to see the new one. I'm like eventually gonna get to it when I can, but it's not on a high importance. Number 3, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. I have complained about this film many times. So I'm just gonna do this one really short. It's just really, really boring. Puts me to sleep. It's super slow pace. So, like, the film looks drab. There's very little redeeming qualities with this film, and it's just kind of like a rehash of the first film. Just like it's just lame. Let's go to number 2. Number 2, Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return. This film was actually written by the person who plays Isaac from the first film and then the 6th film. I forget his name. I think his name was like John Franklin or something like that. Anyway, so you are expecting this kind of good film, like maybe Isaac. You know, it's going to be good. It's his return. Turns out to be by far the worst in the entire series, and a lot of people think that this series really went downhill pretty fast. In my opinion, not so much. I think there's some really good films throughout the entire series, but part 6, it's just a lame story, horrible acting. Isaac, as a grown-up, is not near as good as a kid. It's just kind of like, it's a weird concept going on. It's just not a good film. Stay away from this film. And the number 1. Number 1 worst sequel of all time, and also by far the most disappointing sequel I have ever seen. Not even just horror franchises. This is the worst in my opinion. Is The Return to Sleepaway Camp. I was so excited and hyped for this film because I really love those first 3 films. They're some of the best slashers ever made. So you're, a person like me who's, been hearing about a 4th one. It's finally out. I rented it. Good thing I didn't buy it, because I was tempted to just buy it. But I said, you know what? What if it's a little disappointing? I didn't expect this disappointing. It's a horrible film. It has one of maybe the most annoying characters in like horror cinema history. It's like a fat camper kid who I'm guessing we're supposed to feel sorry for, but I don't. I say there is a reason that this kid's being bullied. I mean, come on. So I don't feel pity for him at all. He's super annoying. I wish he died within the first like 5 seconds of introducing him. He's annoying, and it's really bad writing. I don't care to see this film ever again, and I try to forget about it all the time. Whenever people mention the Sleepaway Camp series, I'm just talking about the first 3. I don't bring up this film. It's a bad film. There's no redeeming quality to this film that I remember. Just if you're a Sleepaway Camp fan, just stay away from this film. Don't bother watching it because it really hurts the series. Anyway, that is the Haunted Top 10. You can always tweet at me your personal, I guess, worst sequels, or you can always just comment down below. I would love to hear back from people. Anyway, see you guys later.